Hey everybody, Sean from Media Assault here, and it's finally time for me to review The Avengers. I say finally, even though I'm reviewing it on the day that it was released in the United States, because it feels like it's been an awful long time that I've been waiting for this movie. And in actuality, it's been about 4 years. When they announced that The Avengers was sort of going to be the climax after a series of 5 films with Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, and Captain America, I was really wondering if we'd ever actually get to the point where The Avengers was going to be made and then actually released. So I'm almost as relieved as much as anything that this movie has finally hit theaters and it's as good as it is. One thing I will say before I get into any actual comment about the film, if you haven't sat down or haven't seen Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, and Captain America prior to seeing The Avengers, you're not going to enjoy it anywhere near as much as I did. I rewatched those 5 films over the past week or so prior to going to see The Avengers tonight, and it's just of a tremendous benefit. That's not to the Avengers, it's not to the detriment of The Avengers. It's really what allows the Avengers to be as good as it is, because it can get right to the action. All of the character development and all of the other stuff that has taken place, the origin stories, the explanation of the characters and who's doing what to whom and all of that stuff, the backstory, that's all taken care of prior to the Avengers. So you can come into this as a viewer and see these characters doing what they do best for 2.5 hours. And that allows somebody like me who's really into this type of stuff to really enjoy it. The fact that you've got somebody behind the camera like Joss Whedon, who not only directed the film, but also wrote this movie with an absolute reverence for the characters. He doesn't allow these characters to do anything stupid or anything just really out of character for them. You can tell that he actually cares about this material, and he's assembled, no pun intended, a team around him that delivers fantastic special effects. Of course, the cast is fantastic. You know, you've got Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth, Scarlett Johansson, Mark Ruffalo, Tom Hiddleston, Samuel L. Jackson, Gregg, Jeremy Renner. All of these people deliver in this film, and it's because the script allows them to. I was wondering how the film would work in what seemed to be relatively minor characters like Black Widow and Hawkeye, and I'm not going to give anything away, but the script does something very creative with these characters that allows you to see more about them. So you actually, if you're going to learn about anybody in this movie, it's going to be Black Widow and Hawkeye, and that's really cool. Loki as a villain is great. Just everything hits. All cylinders are firing on this film. And I don't want it to sound like this is going to be just a video of hyperbole with me saying and gushing how great it is. But really, if you've put the investment into it of seeing those previous 5 films, you're really going to get a lot out of this. Now, I know some people could say, well, this movie should be able to stand on its own, as a story. You know, a movie shouldn't have to rely on the 5 previous films. This is a sequel, folks. It's not a standalone film. Comic books do rely on what comes before them all the time. And that's what allows this movie to be the best superhero film that I've ever seen. And I've been watching superhero films for quite a long time. Superhero films up to this point, there's always been at least one thing wrong with them, whether it be the dialogue is off, or the special effects are off, or the story just isn't quite right, or the actual choice of the hero just really isn't that inspiring. There's always been something that spoiled all the superhero films that have come before this. And that's even been somewhat true of some of the Marvel films. Not so much the 5 prior to this one. I think the 5 movies that preceded the Avengers directly have all been on a relatively consistent quality level. You know, some I've liked more than others. I liked Iron Man better than The Incredible Hulk, and I liked Captain America a little bit better than Thor. But quality-wise, they were all pretty consistent. But this film, The Avengers, is one that gets everything right, finally. The special effects are fantastic. The dialogue, which is very important, is really, really good. Joss Whedon did a fantastic job. That's one of his specialties, is writing great dialogue that's witty and funny, but yet smart. And he's done it again. The directing is good. The action scenes are good. One of the complaints that I've had about many other superhero films is the action films always seem to be edited in such a way that you can't see what's going on, or they're too CGI heavy and it's just confusion until somebody gets up and walks away, and then you know who wins. Even Batman Begins suffered from some of that. The fight scenes in Batman Begins are not the best edited. Here in the Avengers, you don't have that problem. So I'm just going to get down to a rating and just tell you, by all means, if you're going to see this movie, see the 5 films prior to it, then see it. That said, I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10. It's not a perfect film, but it's the best superhero film that's been made up to this point, and I can pay it no better compliment than that. And that's all I'm going to say. See it. Here we are with the first film of the summer, and I've got to say, this is setting the bar pretty high for The Dark Knight Rises, which, atmosphere-wise and tone-wise, that's a completely different, side of the coin, because it's more of a dark movie than this is ever going to be. But it's still a superhero film. So the bar has been set very high. I hope the films that I'm looking forward to this summer, like The Amazing Spider-Man and Dark Knight Rises, can at least approach the bar that's been set here. So the standard has been set. So see The Avengers, definitely. Highly recommended. And that's all I've got to say. So thanks for watching. As always, feel free to rate, comment, and if you haven't done so already, subscribe. And please check out the other videos that I have here on the Media Assault channel on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Bye.